Hello. Today, I just want to encourage you about some things today. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, welcome. This is the channel where we talk about health spiritually and naturally because we were destined by God to live an awesome life. So please hit the like button and the subscribe button for future updates. So, okay, so many times I know as Christians, we say, our blessing is coming or it's on the way. It's like as if we are like at a standstill or we're at a still place waiting for it to come to us. But what about you're on your way to your blessing? And when you show up, you will be ready for it. Why? Because you're changing. You're changing on your way and you're making tweaks and you're getting yourself ready to receive it. So I just want us to look at it from a different perspective. Getting yourself ready to receive it, because the reality is the closer you get to God, not only will He show you, but you will be able to prepare yourself for the blessing. So let's talk about, I want to talk about Esther, of course, 2:8 through 17. I'm going to talk about some things. Esther, prepare. So first, let's talk about prepare. Prepare is to make something ready for use or consideration, to make ready or able to do or deal with something, to make ready beforehand for some purpose, use, or activity, to put in a proper state of mind, to work out the details of, to plan in advance. So, going to the blessing, do whatever I have to do to prepare. So, an example of this, I want you to think about if you were going to a banquet. You're not going to just show up any kind of way. And this may be a special banquet where you're going to have gifts prepared for you. So you're not going to show up any kind of way. You're going to prepare yourself, you're going to dress accordingly, and you're going to look in the mirror several times. Even if you have a little fringe in your nose, you're going to remove it, because you're preparing yourself to get there or to be there. Okay, so prepare yourself for the blessing. God has not only created blessings, tailor-made blessings for you, unexpected blessings made just for you, but we have to prepare ourselves to receive it. So how do we do that? We remove anything that's not like God. We put on or adorn ourselves with the things of God, whether that means you need to fast more, get in your word more, position yourself to receive God. Also, know that as you prepare yourself, the enemy will try to make claims on you. Just remember to dismiss it because you are preparing for greater. Don't go back to old habits, old beliefs, toxic relationships, but prepare yourself for the new. Expect it because you're on your way to the new. And if the old way will try to retach itself, a lot of times it does because it smells the new on you, because it's drawn to the newness. Just dismiss it because it's not of God, because you want greater. But do what you have to do to prepare yourself. So in Exodus, like in Exodus 12, the children of Israel, they prepared themselves by putting markings on the door, to prepare. Not only are you preparing yourself, going back to Esther 2 and 12, but you're gaining necessary skills and the ability you need once you are there. So I want you to think of corporately. Maybe this job is training you for the next. So what you're doing is you're preparing yourself because you want either a higher position or something better, but you're learning all that you can while you are there. So when, and I'm talking about Esther 2 and 17, when Esther arrived before the king, she was ready. and she was capable. Why? Because she prepared for the blessing. Verse 8 and 9. Um, Esther is well trained, well adjusted, socially and spiritually prepared. In order for her to fulfill God's purpose, she needed to be equally prepared physically, that was her beauty or whatever, and she needed to be prepared spiritually. It's things that favor just can do that nothing else can do. And favor comes straight from God, being before God. And that's Esther 2 and 13. It's easy to grab the familiar in verse 13 when she was prepared and she was ready to go before the king. Um, it's easy. She could have grabbed things that was familiar. Each woman was given whatever they desired to take with them. I know it's natural to take what's comfortable or familiar, but as your mind change, as you're preparing yourself and you start to prepare for your blessing, you start detaching yourself from things, old familiar things, old mindsets, things like that. So she requested nothing outside of what was um, appointed or advised of her. She didn't even gravitate to the familiar or the old way, because why? Because I'm moving to my blessing. I'm on my way to my blessing. I'm anticipating. I'm expecting it. I don't need any distractions. So in verse 8 and 9, Esther was well trained. She was well adjusted, socially and spiritually prepared, like I said before. This is evident from the favor she received from her superiors at the place. Beauty preparation, the law required that Esther be attractive. Physically, this required 12 months of preparation with costly ointment. But in order for her to fulfill God's purpose, she needed to be equally prepared spiritually. You're on your way, but when you arrive, you must be ready. Sometimes God is waiting on you to arrive and for you to level up to the spiritual status to receive what He has for you. Any good job or career, you must train and prepare your skills to qualify for it. Okay, so I just want to say that, like, after the pandemic, many believers, saints, the body of Christ, has seemingly lost their motive, their drive, their fire for God. The pandemic has robbed many people of their spiritual drive. But like in Ezekiel, God can not only cause you to live again, but to live in the fullness of His glory. God has created blessings, unexpected blessings, like I said, in store for you, those who believe in Him. But you must avail yourself. Prepare yourself to receive it. Prepare yourself to receive it. How? Devote some time with Him. Fast. Set a prayer time, study time, worship time. Whatever it takes, all means necessary. Get in the mindset that I need God, and I'm not going to be lazy in my faith, but I'm going to prepare myself for the blessing in store for me. Even if it means detaching yourself from something as well, some things as well. So I pray that this encourage you, this motivate you, and when you get time, I encourage you to read Esther, the second chapter. I highlighted some scriptures, but I didn't read it in this clip. But please, in your private time, spend some time with God and prepare yourself for the blessing that God has in store for you. Until next time, be blessed.